A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a stark revelation, Amnesty International has accused Israel of implementing a deliberate policy of starvation in Gaza, coinciding with alarming warnings of impending famine from the United Nations and various humanitarian organizations. The report, released on August 18, 2025, highlights the dire conditions faced by Palestinians in the besieged territory, where reports of malnourished children and displaced families have become increasingly common. The human rights organization claims that Israel's actions over the past 22 months have systematically dismantled the health and social fabric of Palestinian life in Gaza, leading to widespread suffering and despair. The report cites testimonies from displaced individuals and medical professionals who have witnessed the devastating impact of the ongoing conflict on the population's well-being. Amnesty's findings describe a calculated campaign of starvation orchestrated by Israeli authorities, aimed at inflicting conditions of life that would lead to the physical destruction of Palestinians in Gaza. This assertion comes in the wake of a military offensive launched by Israel on October 7, 2023, which has resulted in nearly 62,000 Palestinian deaths and the destruction of vast areas within Gaza. Activists and rights organizations have labeled Israel's actions as a genocidal war against the Palestinian people, prompting the International Criminal Court to issue arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant for alleged war crimes. The report is based on interviews conducted with 19 displaced Palestinians living in makeshift camps and medical staff treating malnourished children in Gaza City. One poignant testimony comes from Hadil, a 28-year-old mother who is 4 months pregnant, expressing her fears about the impact of her own hunger on her unborn child. Another individual, a 75-year-old woman named Aziza, conveyed her feelings of despair and burden on her family as she grapples with the harsh realities of life in Gaza. Erica Guevara Rosas, a senior director at Amnesty International, emphasized the urgent need for the international community to address the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, calling for an immediate lifting of the blockade and a sustained ceasefire. She described the testimonies collected as a powerful indictment of an international system that has allowed Israel to operate with near-total impunity for decades. With nearly 1 million Palestinians in Gaza facing forced displacement due to intensified Israeli attacks, the situation remains critical. Rosas underscored that the catastrophic consequences of Israel's policies cannot be mitigated by merely increasing aid supplies or restoring ineffective airdrops. The Israeli military and Ministry of Foreign Affairs have yet to respond to Amnesty's allegations. However, Israel has consistently denied claims of deliberate starvation, despite evidence of malnutrition-related deaths among Palestinians. The humanitarian crisis has escalated, with over 250 Palestinians, including 110 children, reportedly dying from malnutrition during the ongoing conflict. The Gaza Strip, home to 2.1 million people, has been under an Israeli blockade since 2007, which has only tightened since the outbreak of hostilities. In light of the unfolding humanitarian catastrophe, numerous countries, including Britain, Canada, Australia, and Japan, have called on Israel to allow unrestricted aid into Gaza. A joint statement from foreign ministers of about 24 nations and the European Union's top diplomat emphasized the urgent need for action to halt and reverse the starvation crisis. As the world watches the situation in Gaza deteriorate, the call for immediate humanitarian intervention grows louder, underscoring the pressing need to address the suffering of the Palestinian people and restore their basic rights and dignity. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.